Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk briefly about how to transfer your image onto your piece of paper. Now, for those of you who are confident freehand drawers, you don't need to worry about this process because you simply draw directly onto your piece of paper or onto a layout paper and then transfer it. But for those of you who simply want to explore the techniques of colored pencil without the stress of drawing accurately. And personally, I always think that that is quite important. You're here to enjoy yourself. You're not here to stress yourself because perhaps you haven't yet got the skills to draw accurately. I'm going to show you how you can go about it. So here we have a simple picture of some onions. I took the photograph, so there are no copyright implications, and these are some onions that we're going to transfer. Now, because I like to have the colored image to hand when I actually start to apply the pencil, I also have printed out some grayscale onions, just to make it a little bit easier. It's up to you. You could be working from a printout. You get all these photographs when you sign up for the videos, or you could be working from the line drawing, which you also get. So whichever one you are working from, I'm going to show you how you could go about it. Let's start with this one first. Let me get everything else out of the way. Okay, I am going to be working on a pale colored paper. Now, I happen to be working on the miscanthus one, the paint on miscanthus one, which is made from grass, and it's got that little fleck in it. I just think the onions would look quite nice on it, but you could be working on any pale colored paper, be it paint on, be it watercolor paper, whatever. And this is the technique that I use. There are many, many ways of getting your image onto a piece of paper, but I share with you the technique that I find the easiest. Okay. So here's my photographic reference. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to use a soft graphite pencil. This happens to be a 9B. You could use a 5B or a 6B. Or 7 or 8B for that matter, but you want a soft graphite pencil so that when you put the layer of graphite at the back, you're not having to press too hard. And you will still get a good, decent, dark layer of graphite at the back. Now you can actually also get graphite sticks. I'll show you one. Here is a graphite stick. It's exactly the same. It happens to be the same make. It's also Caran d'Ache, but the make is completely unimportant. It also happens to be a 9B. And if you happen to use a stick, you can see it just goes on quicker. For no other reason, it's the same thing. And I'm simply putting a layer of graphite at the back. Now, the reason I like to use graphite is because I know it will remove easily. Colored pencil is transparent, remember, and you need to get rid of the graphite, otherwise it shows through. So once you have a layer of graphite at the back, remembering it has to be a soft pencil. So one of the B's, this is 9B, you want something soft. You then are going to flip it over, decide where you want to put it, in the middle of your piece of paper, to the side of your piece of paper, wherever you will. I'll just stick it here in the middle. Now, this is what I do. Again, options are yours, but this is how I do it. I'm going to put from my piece of paper that's got the graphite at the back onto the other piece of paper, 2 little lines there and there. This that I am working with is just a straight HB pencil, right? Just a bog standard straight HB. Now, the reason I put those 2 little lines is if, as I am mid-tracing down, the phone rings, you've got to jump up, whatever the case may be, and your paper moves, it's really easy to go back and line up your paper where you wanted it and continue with the process. So let us just start, and then I'm going to show you what I mean. After I've done a little bit, notice I'm not working with a super sharp point. Let's just lift it up. Do you see how well it's coming through? I don't want to press hard with this pencil, because if you press hard with this pencil, you run the risk of actually denting the paper underneath. And if you dent the paper underneath, it leaves these indents which are really quite challenging to get rid of. So I always recommend using a softer pencil behind, and then you're using a slightly harder pencil in front, but you're not pressing hard. Now, as I am going along, I've chosen to leave that out. I just think that little bit of onion skin is not going to be to my advantage, so I'm going to just leave it out. You can decide what you put in and what you don't put in as you go along. It's as simple as that. It's your artwork after all. You can put in as many markings as you do or don't feel you need. Everybody is individual. Now, if you were just tracing the outline to get the outline done, you may not need to worry about these internal markings. However, if you feel you need the help, please put some of them in. You won't know what you need, or put it this way, nobody else knows what you need except you. So if I lift that up, that's given me a fair bit of information about that brown onion. And I would continue on and get all the others transferred. Now, if I was using a line drawing, I would do exactly the same. This line drawing doesn't have a huge amount of information, but it's got sufficient. It's got the outline. I would do the same thing if I was working on a light colored piece of paper, be it white or beige or green or whatever, as long as it's light color. I would do the same thing. I'd put graphite at the back. Now, the reason I like to use graphite is because I know that is very easy to remove with a kneadable eraser. Here we have my trusty kneadable eraser, and I'll just take away a section completely. You can actually get rid of it really easily so that it does not leave a mark on your paper. And as you are applying the colored pencil, you can do little bit by little bit, lessen it, and you can apply the colored pencil. It's a personal thing, but I like to use graphite. But there are many other means of doing it. It's up to you to experiment and see which you prefer. The next thing to consider is if you're doing the same image, but you're working on a dark piece of paper. If I were to put graphite at the back, as I did first time around, the graphite simply wouldn't show up on my black piece of paper. Even if it was a really dark green or a really dark blue, it wouldn't show up. So I have a slightly different method. Here is my image. At the back, I am going to apply pastel. Now, you could use a little bit of stick pastel. The challenge with stick pastel is that it's quite dusty, and it does leave a lot of pastel dust all over the place. It works perfectly. Up to you again to decide. I'm going to put half with soft pastel. And I'm just putting a layer of soft pastel there. Not pressing very hard, you don't need to. Or if you want something a little neater, not quite so dusty, I'm going to use a pastel pencil. This happens to be a Faber-Castell Pit Pastel. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to put a layer of white pastel at the back of my image. You press reasonably firmly with the pastel pencil. You need enough on the paper. Right, it's dusty, so you are going to have to get rid of the dust. Let me just get rid of it. There you go. Now that's much cleaner. Same thing. I flip it over. I decide where I want to put it on my piece of paper. I'm going to go back and use the graphite again, and I'm still going to make just two little marks from here onto the black. I can still see where those are. It's sufficient. And again, it's so if I inadvertently move this, and needs to relocate it, I can check and see I've got everything in the right place. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to trace through, and I'll pick it up in just a second so we can see if it's coming through sufficiently. And it's coming through. So let's just zoom around this one, and then you can see and you can compare the two. And again, it's a case of how much detail you do or don't need is entirely up to you. Neither is right nor wrong. Some people just want the basic shape so that everything is sort of there. You don't have to think too hard when you're applying the color, because remember, the color these videos are all about a technique. It's teaching you a technique, but it's what you individually do with it as you continue on your journey of developing your colored pencil skills. Right, I'm just putting in a few of these round bits to help me. Let's lift it up. You can see a subtle difference. This side was the soft pastel. That side was the pastel pencil. Neither is right nor wrong, but there is a speckling of soft pastel dust, which is just a bit annoying, but it's not a problem because, again, your kneadable eraser will lift it all off really, really easily. Your kneadable eraser will almost pretty much get rid of all of that as well. Not quite completely, but enough that you wouldn't worry if you were applying colored pencil. Now, as I say, some of the other means of transferring it, I have found that it can be challenging to get rid of some of the white carbon type paper. It can be challenging to get rid of that really strong white line. So I don't recommend it. All I can do is show you how I would go about transferring something onto the piece of paper. If you need to, maybe you don't need to, but if you need to, this is how I recommend you go about it. If you're on dark paper, you're going to use pastel at the back. If you're working on a light piece of paper, you're going to use graphite at the back. But please remember, there are many other options, and the choice is ultimately your own. Here I have got my image on my piece of paper. I have outlined it using the appropriate colors. Remember, that means that if you're going to have a brown onion, you're going to outline it in browns, and you're going to get rid of all the graphite because graphite shows through. You will also notice I've done a fair bit of experimentation as to what colors I'm going to use on the side here. It's a good habit to get into, to actually work on the same paper that you're going to actually be doing the image on. To actually do it, give yourself a couple of centimeters down the side, an inch or whatever you'd like to call it, a margin. Either draw it in or don't, but give yourself space that you can experiment with color on the paper that you're actually going to be working on.